Rockwatch software is not a metal detector, but actually an algorithm that can be added to already existing security cameras like this one. Even if you're running late, law enforcement says you got to make sure your windshield is clear, as well as your back window. Brake lights and turn signals. Don't forget about your headlights and side view mirrors. What you're seeing here is not a lake, but what's actually supposed to be a part of a road. On the way up the hill, it takes 5 to 6 shovels every 45 seconds. On the way down, gravity takes over. Whether it's homeowners, business owners, or the city of Clarksburg, and even the Division of Highways. But regardless, those whose main mode of transportation is walking are concerned for their safety. And although we are an hour away from the city council meeting, things are expected to get heated tonight. This is North Fork Fishing Creek, the main supplier of water for the more than 500 residents that are in the town. Many of them don't have their own water well, so they rely on this.
The bridge is gone. Knowing the struggle we're going to have because we can't get out.
Autumn Vanoy and her fiancé Cliff Hamilton have been stuck at her family's farm since Friday after the private bridge collapsed. And it's because of this that we conducted the interview via phone call from about 100 feet away.
And it was just like the world stopped for me. I just slowly watched the bridge turn and the metal bend, and then as soon as the pier slipped, all the debris just took off down the creek, and then it was quiet again.
The bridge, which was built in the 1970s by Vanoy's grandfather, was the only main and safe access to the farm, and it had withstood the test of time and numerous floods. But this time around, it was the combination of fast-flowing water, trash, and debris that took it down.
The whole summer worth of garbage, trees, and debris gathered up. But when we did have high water, all of it come down at one time.
We collected it under a bridge, and that's what essentially took it out.
Vanoy says she contacted local authorities to let them know they were stuck, and local fire and rescue has plans to use a boat to get to their property in case of an emergency. Although they've been encouraged to evacuate, Vanoy says that's not an option.
Because we have a livelihood that we have to take care of. We cannot abandon our home, our cattle, we can't walk away from it, because if I walk away, then I don't know when I'm going to be able to get back.
Now it's only a matter of time as nature takes its way and the rain keeps coming down and the water level rises and it takes down the remaining part of the bridge.
Because if our bridge would get washed out in the next flood and it would go down and cause damage, we're held responsible.
Vanoy says it will take thousands of dollars to build a new bridge, but is worried about how they will pay for it. And she says so far, there's no clear path forward, other than holding out for hope. EMTs and paramedics concerned over access to life-saving care in 2,500 households and a nursing home.
Feeling kind of, blindsided.
Paramedic Wesley Schumann is not alone in this feeling, as Salem EMS team members were in shock to find out on Monday they no longer have jobs.
Shocked that we were just not told or given a chance to look for other employment.
Another employee who did not want to go on camera went to sleep in the station Sunday night as part of the Salem team, not knowing what was coming. And they were not the only ones who started the morning with unexpected news.
I was getting an update from my staff this morning, my assistant chiefs, and they made us aware that they were contacted around 9 o'clock this morning that Salem was going to quit answering calls about 10 a.m. And surprise, here it's on us.
I called our director of 911, Paul Bump, to see his game plan to reroute the calls and assign them to Harrison County Emergency Squad, and there's going to be no lapse in coverage.
According to a post on the city's Facebook page, the cause for the shutdown was due to ongoing low call volume that would not support the department's financial stability. Salem City Council's vote came as a surprise to EMS staff, with some of them, like Schumann, finding out through media coverage. EMS workers like Schumann say this is not just the loss of a job, but the loss of an opportunity to do what he loves.
Most people in EMS work 2 or 3 jobs because we don't do it because of the pay. That's always great. We do it because we like it.
The city manager was not available for comment today, citing having to be present alongside police and the assistant director of Salem EMS for the final count of medications and drugs held by the department. But officials made it clear help will still come during an emergency when you dial 911.
We're not going to have as many pumpkins as we normally have.
Randall Snyder has owned his more than 375-acre Snyder Farms with his family for decades. Around 5 years ago, they started a pumpkin patch and corn maze. But this year, there's trouble.
And some of the ones that have grown either are not growing as well or they're growing way too fast.
With some pumpkins around a month and a half ahead of schedule and ready to be picked.
Pretty much the same size, same pumpkin, but it's already orange, so.
The Snyder family says they think their crop will be cut in half this year.
We haven't got enough moisture to raise our water table. Our pumpkin patch, it's suffered so much, I don't think it's going to come back. As you can see, a lot of the vines are already dying out. And honestly, where we didn't get the weed control done is the best we've got because it was shaded. And the hot sun has impacted the plants.
It just rained a few moments ago and it didn't last more than 10 minutes with it being just a drizzle. The ground already back to where it was and it didn't really absorb any of the water, so you can hear right here. Farmers say this kind of rain is a problem and it's not doing much for the crops.
We do need the rain. We know it's coming. We want a little bit of rain at first so the ground softens up so that when the heavier rains hit, that it's more likely to absorb and we get a good deep soaking to the root base.
Leonhardt added that if farms are only hit with heavy rain, there's a risk of it all running off. But the Snyders are not giving up.
When the school groups come to visit us, we always like to give every kid a pumpkin to take home with him. And we're going to continue it this year, and we're going to survive one way or another. We will make it.
We've got breaking news as we come on the air as law enforcement have arrested 2 people following a child's death in Braxton County. No further details are available at this time on the wreck. However, her obituary states she enjoyed riding her motorcycle. It's Thanksgiving Day, and many of you are probably already up and preparing Thanksgiving meals. I can tell you my favorite dish to eat and make is a pumpkin pie, especially with fresh pumpkins. I made one last night for our WBOI team to enjoy later today. And if you're planning on a turkey trot this morning, Chief Meteorologist Justin Kiefer is here to give us a check of your morning forecast on what to expect for that run.